This is Teddy Blake, Giorgia in red Palmelatto leather. This is a very structured bag. The leather is a heavy finish, definitely. Embossed pattern, feels plasticky. Overall, the craftsmanship looks pretty nice. We paid $544 for this. Let's see if it's worth it. It tears a little too easy. Usually the leather that has its grain on doesn't tear that quickly, but in a bit we're going to apply acetone and see a little bit more. So basically acetone dissolved all the finish, and now we know this is a suede base layer covered with a plastic or acrylic coat to create this thick film, and then they emboss this grain pattern on it to make it look like leather grain again. But in fact it's not the real full or top grain, it's a man-made grain, and this is one of the confusing ways of making and labeling leather. Definitely in the lower ends of the leather grades. I see about 10 square foot of leather in front of me. Leather choice is a little questionable. It's a calf suede, probably filmed with a man-made finish on it. I would rather see a top grain leather even for these kind of finishes. So the leather cost should be around $40, more than enough to cover the leather. Accessories are not bad. The finish of it can be, I think, better, or I've seen better in high-end luxury brands. Overall, the work is pretty complex. There's a lot of support materials, fabrics inside. $110 for the craftsmanship as well as the accessories. In total, $150 should be able to cover us to make a bag like this in leather, labor, and accessories cost. I would like to talk a little bit about the leather selection here, as this is such a case in point. Heavy finish, we don't know what's underneath before we dig deeper into it. The description says semi-rigid grained calf skin. I got confused reading some of those labels in the leather industry, and once we dig deeper, we know that it's a suede covered with a film that looks like grain again. Definitely once you apply that finish, either it's a suede, even PU, the fake leather base, will look the same. It's really almost impossible to tell from outside, and we need to rely on the labels until we start digging deeper. The durability will pretty much similar until a certain point, and then the cheaper materials will start like falling apart quicker. If they were to use a top grain leather here, which is a better alternative to what they used here, probably will last longer because the grain will hold it together. They could use full grain or top-notch leathers as, you know, exclusive luxury brands like Louis Vuittons and Prada's do. Then, in my opinion here, it's wasting that resource, that beautiful leather otherwise can be finished beautifully, can be standardized like this. Probably a higher quality choice as well, but what's the difference from outside? Almost nothing. So I think for such a good work, complex design here, I would expect to see a top grain leather employed here. Even though lower grades of the leather doesn't matter here, they're going to cover it completely, but it's going to make it a little bit more durable and respectable than this material. So as long as you understand the heavy finishes and what it means and what can it hide behind the scenes, that's all my point making this commentary here. And that's why it is a little bit of a trust game in the brands you're looking at for these standardized finishes, because there's almost no way to determine it from the outside look. In summary, I paid $544 for this bag. It came in such a beautiful box. It's made in Italy. It looks like, I think, some of the big brand fashion designs. So it has all that features of sophisticated leather craft. The price, $544 comparison to my estimate of $150 to make one. I think it's very, very, very fair pricing, and that's what the brand's promise is: luxury items without the luxury price tag. I probably would like to see a better leather selection on this, which wouldn't be too much of a difference in the making for cost. But overall, this bag will do the job for the price it is sold at, and for the value, I don't see an exaggerated price tag on this one. As long as you know what you're buying and you like the design, why not?